Coffee and Headlines is brought to you by the generous support of our viewers and the following community partners: Best Cord Cutting TV, Bravo's Restaurant Bar, El Rey Lounge de Versalles, Joint Boutique Hotel and Cowork, Monson Brewing Company, Puerto Vallarta Neurofeedback, Puerto Vallarta Owners Reps, Oculto, and Siam Cocina Thai. Thank you for your support, and thank you for supporting our community partners. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Coffee and Headlines. This is our morning get together live here on Facebook and also on YouTube, where we take a look at news from our city, state, and country. And of course, this morning, news from elsewhere in the world. Pope Francis has passed away, and we're going to mention that as part of our news choices for this morning. I hope everybody's doing great. I hope you had a great weekend. If you were in Puerto Vallarta, or if you are in Puerto Vallarta, I hope you had a restful Semana Santa and that you were not affected by the crowds. And if you're elsewhere, I just hope that you are doing fantastic wherever you are. Today is Monday, April 21st. Wow, this year is moving really, really quickly in my mind. But it's good to be here, and it's good to connect with you. Let us get started with our news. And of course, at the top of our news items, we have the unexpected passing of Pope Francis, the first Latin American and Jesuit pontiff in history. He died early this morning at the age of 88, as confirmed by the Vatican on its official website. The announcement was made by Cardinal Kevin Joseph Farrell, the church's chamberlain, accompanied by Secretary of State Pietro Parolin and Venezuelan Edgar Peña Parra, in a video recorded at Casa Santa Marta. The Pope's last public appearance was on Easter Sunday, just a few hours prior, when, with a weak voice, he blessed thousands of faithful in St. Peter's Square and toured the site in the Pope Mobile, in an emotional gesture interpreted by many as his farewell. May he rest in peace. And if you are wondering, by the way, what those initials are on top of the headline, QEPD stands for Que en paz descanse, which of course means may he rest in peace. You find these initials commonly in all kinds of printed announcements when people pass. In other news, Puerto Vallarta's Port Authority is set to begin construction of a new tourism and cultural corridor with a 40 million peso investment. And this project aims to enhance the experience for cruise passengers and other visitors to our city, adding unique attractions and showcasing the rich culture of the region. The project includes, I suppose the project is going to be built right at the Maritime Terminal, and it includes a botanical garden focused on agave plants and the tequila making process, a museum, an art center, and retail space for local artisans. The new development is expected to become a key attraction ahead of the 2026 World Cup, which will bring increased international attention to nearby Guadalajara and, of course, also to Puerto Vallarta. Now, here's something curious that I found this morning. As we know, it is quite common to name streets, colonias, and even cities in Mexico after our national heroes. Case in point, here in Puerto Vallarta, we have a colonia named Emiliano Zapata. And while we know that Zapata was a very important hero during Mexico's Revolutionary War, you may wonder, or maybe not, just how popular is his name. So we looked at some data made available by Mexico's National Statistics and Geography Institute, and we find out that there are, in all of Mexico, there are 11,727 streets named Emiliano Zapata. In the state of Morelos, Morelos being another Mexican hero, in the state where Zapata was born, there is a municipality called Emiliano Zapata. And Mexico's subway station, of course, has a station called Zapata. And I thought you would want to know. As you can see, there aren't many news this morning out there. Most of the news have to do with the passing of Pope Francis. And let's look at our weather just to see what's going on out there. Of course, snarky weather chose not to be snarky today and simply say, rest in peace, Pope Francis. It is 26 degrees out there. Wow, humidity is low at 58%. That's comforting. Our weather forecast for today says we're going to have a humid day with clear skies, a high of 29 and a low of 17. Then tomorrow, partly cloudy skies throughout the day with a high of 28 and a low of 16. And then on Wednesday, clear skies throughout the day with a high of 28 and a low of 16. Moving right along, let's see. I want to give you a nice reminder that this important social event is coming up. The Rio Cuale cleanup, organized by Ryan Donner and Associates, is happening this coming Sunday at 9 a.m. in the morning. This is a wonderful effort put together by Ryan Donner's company. And what a great pursuit this is. If you are feeling like being social and doing a little bit of exercise and work, this coming Sunday is the day to do it. And what else do we have? Oh, of course, I want to remind you, speaking of the Isla Rio Cuale, I want to remind you of this event that happens at Rico Indian tomorrow morning. And this is an event in which you can connect with the earth. And there's going to be meditation and whatnot. This is going to be tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Of course, it's something that I won't be able to attend because I am here doing coffee and headlines. And of course, the wonderful Delilah Beaucoup had her first show this past Friday, and it is time to, of course, I failed to put this where I have to put it so that I can play this for you. I have an interview with Delilah. Let me make that happen. Oh, yeah. I hate it when I forget to put things where I'm supposed to put them. How am I going to do this? Let me just put it right here. Hold on just a second. I know you cannot see me, and that's okay. Let me just call this up. This is the interview that Delilah graciously gave me to share with you. Let's see if this works. Hey everyone, I'm sitting here with Delilah Beaucoup.
Yes, you said it correctly.
Did I say
You're
that
one
correctly?
of the few, Paco.
Oh my goodness. What a pleasure to have you, Delilah. How is it
so much.
going?
I'm doing great. Yeah.
Tell me more.
Tell me more about how I'm doing great. Well, my
Yes.
show is just about to open, so that's part of why I'm feeling great.
Uh-huh.
And we've been working so hard on the show, and we're just 2 days away from opening. The excitement is building. Yes.
Tell me, and of course, for those people that don't know, obviously, this is an Annie Lennox Eurythmics Experience.
Yes.
How did the idea come about?
Well, I have been dreaming about doing this show for many, many years, probably since I was a young woman driving around in my mom's Honda Civic, blasting the AM/FM radio, and I heard "Sweet Dreams Are Made of This" for the very first time. Do you remember that song?
Of course I do.
Yes, it's iconic. So I fell totally in love with Annie Lennox, her sound, and her legendary band, the Eurythmics.
Yes.
And the love affair has never ended for me.
And And how did it become a reality, or when?
This is a long process. I am coming to Puerto Vallarta from Seattle, Washington, and I left Seattle during the pandemic. I have done little bits of this show, and it has been in germinating in my mind, since I was living in Seattle and doing a few shows with some of these songs. But it really didn't start to come together until I talked to my director, Jordan Carnegie, and you probably know him from Hedvig over at the
Yes.
Palm. And I had been talking to Jordan and Mark Rome, of course, who manages both the Palm and Coco. And I said, I've had this dream for an Annie Lennox and Eurythmics show. What do you guys think? And they both were like, yes, this sounds great. This is the perfect time. So that completely terrified me in the moment, but I knew, if you're not terrified a little bit, then you're not dreaming big enough. I knew that much.
So let me ask you this. Does this mean that people that have had the pleasure of hearing you sing live have already heard some Annie Lennox songs performed by you?
They have here because I included one of the songs in my show in my jazz show this
Uh-huh.
year. I did sort of a down tempo jazzy version of Here Comes the Rain Again.
Oh,
So that
nice.
was very popular in my jazz show, and that was just a little warm up for what they're going to hear
That's wonderful.
Friday.
Now,
Yeah.
let us step back a little bit, because I am sure that there might be some people out there that are not familiar with you. And we want to
Hmm.
make sure that they feel welcome as well.
Yeah.
I have seen your name associated, and your whole look and everything seems to me associated with jazz.
Hmm.
Um, who are your muses?
Well, Annie Lennox is definitely one of my biggest, my most favorite muse and my biggest inspiration in my life. I'm sort of a multi genre artist. So I do cabaret, I can perform in musicals because I am dance well enough to perform in musicals.
Hmm.
I used to have a rock and roll band. I've done some burlesque. So I, it's hard to pin me down. Jazz has really been my focus in the last, I would say, 12 years. And when I came to Puerto Vallarta 5 years ago, that was something that I really wanted to focus on and emphasize when I was first here, because the Jazz Foundation had closed a couple of years before I arrived, and I felt like I wanted to be part of the revival of the jazz scene and really bring it to the theater.
How did
Yeah.
that turn out?
It's an interesting journey with the jazz because we're in a land of drag queens and tribute shows, and people are here to have fun and not think too much and have, a great time in Puerto Vallarta. Jazz, I think, to people feels like it's a little more serious music. And my shows are very fun, but you have to be in the right mood for jazz. And a lot of times people just want to relax and hear a tribute show.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the show production itself. People are going to go enjoy your singing, but tell me, is there a band? Is there what is the experience going to be like?
For the Eurythmic show or the jazz
Yes,
show?
the the,
Okay.
the Eurythmics show.
There won't be a band for the Eurythmic show. I will have Paul Lyon on guitar because, of course, Annie Lennox had a partner in music, and his name is Dave Stewart. He was a guitar player and the co-writer of all the songs. So I felt it was important to bring a guitar player in who could sort of play that role. So Paul will be playing on some of the songs that we have. The tracks, I wanted to use the tracks because the Eurythmics really were some of the first in the 80s to layer the synth pop sounds. They had multiple synthesizers on the stage at one time. And it's so hard to get that sound, from a four-piece band. You really, they had 10 people in their band at any time. So, yeah, so we're using
Excellent,
tracks.
excellent. And remind me of the actual dates. It's right here in front of my nose, Paco. April 18 and 25th. This is at 8 p.m.
At Coco Cabaret.
at Coco Cabaret.
Yeah.
Have you performed there already, or
No.
this is your
It's
first
my
time?
first time.
Are you excited?
Very excited. Very excited. When we first agreed to perform this show, we weren't sure if Coco would be open. That was last year when we agreed to do this show. But so it was not sure if we were going to be at Coco or the Palm. I'm so happy the Coco is open and ready to receive us because it's a big show. I have 4 dancers, I have 2 backup singers, guitar player. You know, I have a few different directors that are helping us with this. And we're using both stages, both levels of the stage to really showcase this music. It's Jordan and Jordan Carnegie is directing this show, and we decided it's sort of like a musical. It's a musical tribute to the Eurythmics and Annie Lennox, but the arc of the show, and because we have a cast of characters, is somewhat like a musical. So, and also we wanted to use the LED screens for all the visual effects going on during the whole show. It's a whole experience. You're going to be immersed in the Eurythmics experience.
This is wonderful. And I'm sure that fans of Annie Lennox and fans of the Eurythmics will jump at the opportunity.
I think so.
Tell me something that will help those people that are not familiar with Annie Lennox or the Eurythmics to get excited. Like for somebody that maybe knows a couple of the really primordial songs, but is not really familiar with the band or with Annie Lennox. And you should, because she's a kick-ass lady.
Yes.
But for those people that may have been sleeping on the moon, and that's okay too, what can you say?
I would say now the Eurythmics were popular by and large, or in part, let's say, because MTV, the video programming, was started to become very popular. So all of the artists at that time jumped at the chance to use video to become popular, and they were big hits on MTV because their visuals were so unusual. So I would watch, I would YouTube "Sweet Dreams Are Made of This" and watch the original video. I would also look at just some of their early videos and really get the vibe. And then I would also look, her first solo album was called Diva.
Diva.
Yes, and definitely watch some videos of Diva, because then she's not only an incredible singer, a credible musician, but it's also about her visuals. She's such a visual artist, and her look, and you want to get the whole scope of her whole vibe. So that's what I would do.
Is there something that we're missing? Something that you want to make sure that people know?
Well, make sure that you book your tickets online. The tickets are selling very fast. And so we open April 18th, Friday night at 8 p.m. And you can go on cococabaret.com to buy your tickets. So that's coco-cabaret.com to buy your tickets. And you definitely want to buy tickets online because they're moving very fast. Same thing for April 25th. Friday night, 8 p.m. Buy online because this show is already very, very popular. And we want you to come. We're so excited to present this show, and we want you to be there for sure.
Well, I appreciate your enthusiasm, and I love the fact that we get a chance to have a little conversation.
Thank you.
I hope Jordan is doing better today than yesterday.
Yes.
And I hope he continues to improve. Please send my love back to him.
Yes.
And Delilah, I wish you much success.
Thank you so much.
In this performance. And I'm so grateful that you came.
Yes. Thank you very much, Paco.
My pleasure.
We'll see you at the show.
Hopefully, yes.
Yes.
Excellent. And that was that. I had such a great conversation with Delilah, and I was um, so happy to hear her enthusiasm for what she's going to do. And of course, check it out. We have two comp tickets for this Friday night show. We are going to be giving those away the evening prior to that in my presentation. Oh, that one, where we have several wonderful things to give away in this presentation that I'm going to be doing this Thursday, where we're going to take a look at some amazing music from the classical repertoire that you may know from TV and movies and commercials and cartoons. But do you know its origin? Do you know what I'm talking about? Check this out. Psst. Hey, have you heard this one? How about this one? Or this one? In fact, there are a number of tunes out there that come from classical works, but do you know their composers or the titles? In my next music appreciation presentation titled, Oh, That One, we will examine a few of these very popular melodies and unpack their origin. But even better than that, we will play a Name That Tune game in which those present will be able to win wonderful prizes donated by awesome members of our Coffee and Headlines community. So join me on Oh That One on Thursday, April 24 at 5 p.m. at the Joint Boutique Hotel and Co-work, so you too can say, Oh, that one. Oh, that one. We're going to have so much fun. I think we're going to have a lot of fun. I am going to have a lot of fun. So there. No, we're all going to have a great time. If you have nothing else to do on Thursday afternoon and you want to win some prizes, we have, we have these from Delilah. We have two of these from Amy Armstrong. We have a gift certificate for coffee at Café Rio. We have authentic salt from Colima. These were donated by the Joint Boutique Hotel and Co-work. We have two 250 peso gift certificates that were donated to us. So you learn something new, you win fabulous prizes. It doesn't get any better than that. Now, let's take a look at your comments. I see lots of good mornings and David's good afternoon, which I love seeing. Thank you very much for that. Let's see. Many good mornings. Many good mornings. Larcito, you're in Copenhagen. Larcito. And we have a new person. Oh my goodness. JW is watching live for the first time on YouTube. Hello, JW. Everybody say hello to JW, please. Don't make me look bad. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here with us. You arrive in Puerto Vallarta on Thursday for 10 days. If you have any questions or expectations that you wish to fulfill, feel free to ask us questions. We are here to help. Let's see what else. There's a queue. You talked about Siete Machos last week. I can find any suggestions where to look. Absolutely. It's readily available at Farmacia Guadalajara. We are talking about the traditional Mexican cologne that is very inexpensive and very fabulous. Siete Machos. I would try Farmacia Guadalajara. That's where I got my bottle. And it comes in a plastic bottle. How fabulous is that? Let's see what else we have. We heard the crocodiles have been roaming around a lot. Oh, yes, they're everywhere. And the rain season hasn't even started. And it's usually with the rain season that they start relocating. But yes, there were quite a few of them that were reported. Some beaches were closed. Some beaches had purple flags. Let's see what else. Queen of Question Laura also asks, did you go out for Easter dinner? You know, that's a very curious question to me because I have never celebrated Easter anything until I came back to Mexico from the United States after living almost 2 decades in the US. Um, we don't do Easter dinner. We don't do Easter brunch. I mean, I don't know that many Mexican nationals do this. Um, I don't, and I've gone to a couple of brunches. Um, how about you? Do you guys celebrate Easter by going out and eating elsewhere? Please let me know because I'm not familiar with the tradition as such. Let's see. Let's see. Ooh, that's a long one and has my name at the beginning. I heard you mention this story a week ago or two, the Sheraton refusal to host a gay marriage. Oh my goodness. It's been a while, over a week or two, John, that we talked about this. And now apparently it has made its way to international news. This makes me wonder whether you are talking about something that happened again, or is MSNBC dusting a bit of news that took place 4, maybe 5 years ago? It was definitely before the pandemic. And the original news story was that indeed a gay couple was trying to get married at the hotel, and the hotel refused. And they said, "Well, we don't do those, but try other hotels." And it was funny because at the time, um, this they made a big deal online and on social media, and you'd think that another one of the gay hotels in town would have jumped at the opportunity to publish to give something to these guys to get some publicity. And none of the gay hotels in town took the bait, or maybe they were not paying attention. And it was the Hilton, the local Hilton, that offered the grooms the opportunity to get married at their hotel without paying for the wedding. So that was then about 5, 6 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago. I don't remember. So maybe, maybe the Sheraton has done it again. I don't know. Um, but I will look for the news online. John, if you have a URL to share with me, I wouldn't mind it if you did, just out of curiosity. And let's see what else we have. Such a great interview, gave me flashbacks to when MTV played music videos. Loved Annie Lennox and Eurythmics then, and still do today. I love Annie Lennox. She is an amazing lady, and she is amazing in all kinds of interviews that I've seen of her. So beyond her musicianship, she is super awesome. And I am excited to see how much she's gotten into the whole. I'm talking about Delilah now. How much she's gotten into the mindset of the show. She went and did her hair and the look and this, that, and the other. So this should be a really wonderful show. And speak of the devil, I saw him pop. I saw you. Hello, Jordan. I saw you pop up in the comments. I hope you're feeling better, and congratulations. I hope that this past Friday, was very successful, and I hope that this coming Friday will be very successful as well. Let's see. Oh, ooh. Well, watch me blush like a schoolgirl. It takes one to know one. Hello, Guapo. Hello, Maddie. Maddie, of course, is the co-owner, along with his partner, of Provecho, a wonderful pizza place in El Tuito. And it's great to see you. I hope you guys are doing great. And every time I see you, I get hungry. It's the pizza and the cookies, of course. Let's see what else. Lots of hellos for our new person. And I see a hello from me from Anthony Smith. Hello, Anthony. Great to see you watching from YouTube. This is wonderful. Let's see. Oh, interesting. More feedback on Easter. Yes, we usually prepare a nice meal, but on occasion like this year, we went out for a meal. That's fascinating. Again, not something that we do a lot down here, but hey, I'm up for a good meal anytime. Let's see. Albert reports Canopy was packed for Easter yesterday with nationals. Saw the posting while I was at Moro Paraíso with friends yesterday, and traffic was crazy up the Quale. Well, yeah, it's that weekend. But I hope you had a good time. Let's see what. Oh, I miss you back, Mateo. I will look for an opportunity to escape to El Tuito sometime soon, and hopefully we can get together and chew on some cookies. I'd like that very much. And this brings us to the end of today's broadcast. I hope you have a good week this week. This is our Semana de Pascua, our second holiday week, but it's usually not as crowded as Semana Santa. I hope it is a good week for you. I am going to have a wonderful week. I'm looking forward to it. And thank you for watching with me. And I'll see you tomorrow morning.